We up and I'm feeling like a new me. Stacking new sets, some new E. NFTs, all of them you need. Back in my zone like 2-3. All time high, hit a new peak. Let's go. Homie, the Bulls is back. I said the Bulls is back. Cheer, yeah.
GM and welcome back to the channel. In this one, we're taking a look at some of the news breaking today. Pretty much a roundup of what has happened in crypto over the past 24 hours. We're going to start here with CoinGecko just to check in on the price action because it's been quite interesting to see crypto Twitter sentiment versus the price right now. I've seen a lot of bear posting after Bitcoin is down like $700 from the top it printed just earlier, like 35.5, 35.6. It's down to 34.7. People were doing a bit of a grave dance. Very happy indeed that they caught that little short opportunity, but the overall trajectory here of the market is still up. Let's also talk about the elephant in the room down here, 7.8% negative for Solana after printing green dildos for the past 2 weeks pretty much. Avocado toast with this one, if we just zoom in, he states, make sure to get max bearish at this point. So a bit of a retrace and a retest of some key moving averages there. Bitcoin down to like 34.7 after a very exuberant run up, pretty much standard stuff, miniature pullback on the way and everyone getting super bearish as that occurs.
Bitcoin will go to fucking zero.
What else has been going on here? Some more BTC catalysts on the horizon. So yesterday, there was, of course, another pause by the Fed. So Arthur Hayes with the Jerome Powell quote here. Slowing down is giving us, I think, a better sense of how much more we need to do if we need to do more. Arthur says, but every measure of inflation is above the Fed's 2% target. Guess it's time to pump the financial assets. We can see BTC, of course, ticked up yet again post the FOMC yesterday. And he says, now that the Fed has paused over 2 meetings, this means every other central bank has cover to print. Expect massive stimulus from China, Europe, and Japan. And what did the Japanese do today? One of the craziest things I've ever seen, to be honest with you. Japan to approve a $110 billion stimulus package to fight inflation. We are literally living in a clown world here with statements like this. Does the average person not under fucking stand? I really can't get my head around this one. It's kind of outrageous. Pentoshi just chimes in. This is the equivalent of fighting a fire with gasoline, very literally. So again, check out the Bitcoin price up here. Quantitative easing is occurring in the most ridiculous sense to combat inflation over in Japan. It does seem that the liquidity cycle is now very much on our side. We're just waiting for Bitcoin to continue in this bullish posturing because the environment around us is just giving us absolute layups. Then back to co-host Arthur Hayes here for point 2 of the day. He says this, fam, I have something embarrassing I must admit. Essentially, he's bought the local top here. I just bought Sol. I know it's a Sam coin piece of dogshit L1 that at this point is just a meme, but it's going up and I'm a degen. Let's effing go. So that was at 11:30 a.m. Sol then prints its high around 12 noon on that hourly candle and then starts to move down here, coming in from around 44 at that top signal from Arthur Hayes down to around 38, has now recovered to somewhere around $40. But where can we expect the pullback for Sol to come in here? Maybe over this next week. Over to the chief of the man. Let's see here. We have, of course, Ansem, who has been notoriously bullish on Solana. And he says, we have too many people waiting for 25, 26 bucks, which is the bottom boundary there just above my head. He reckons the green box is more likely, some around high 20s to low 30s before we accelerate up yet again. So the pullback may be around $28, $30. If I see a flat 30 on the chart, I'm going to be bidding. And I actually know myself, I'm going to be bidding around $31, $32. I don't mind front running that even slightly ahead of others. 31, 32 bucks honestly still is cheap. I don't want to be searching for just an extra $2, say, per sol. To continue with my DCA position, I want to own more Solana. And I think if you try and bottom tick these kind of moves, you could be left in the dust as per the previous move we just saw that played out. A lot of people sidelined and want exposure to Sol now. But we do have a lot of stimulus coming to this ecosystem. As we've covered on this channel, a lot of airdrops you can be farming. Jupiter with this just yesterday. Stay tuned for an announcement tomorrow, a lovely announcement of an announcement. What happened? Jupiter, they took to the stage at breakpoint and they announced this. So new features, GMX style perps, and there's liquidity already bootstrapped and good to go on there. They've also going to be releasing an EUSD style stablecoin. Check out my videos on Libra Finance for that to understand how that would work. Essentially, it's an LSD position with an APY that comes in the form of the Sol staking yield converted to more dollars. And finally down here, last but not least, in addition, they're announcing the JUP airdrop. The Jupiter token is coming. 40% of the supply will go as an airdrop, which is a very good disbursement amongst the community. And even better, this person states, Jupiter plus elusive privacy will mean private swaps on Jupiter. So we go over to Jupiter aggregator here, top right hand corner, perpetuals there now listed. You can start trading perps directly on this decentralized exchange. Pretty damn crazy. And for just having utilized this aggregator to do loads of swaps on Solana, you will be getting the Jupiter token airdrop to you as well. Likely going to be very valuable, and apparently the token will actually have value accrual as well. So Stimmies coming to the Solana manlets. Very good stuff. So just to backtrack on some news we covered earlier in the week around Unibot and that hack. That new router that they implemented was hacked as per Maestro the previous week. Crazy shit. Maybe the performance upgrade wasn't really needed. But what has happened with people's tokens? Well, it says here we've successfully processed 95% of the refunds, and we maintain an ongoing review process to ensure our users receive the most favorable resolution. What I've seen them doing on the timeline, people have been chirping down in the comments on this one saying, look, not only did they replace instead of my shitcoin with ETH because someone's shitcoin went down overnight and they would have made a huge loss if they actually would give them back their actual shitcoins. They gave them back ETH instead, like kind of gave them a bit of an insurance policy on their tokens whilst they were unable to do anything with said tokens. I mean, you know, you can't sell the token because it was kind of out of your hands. It had been rugged. So fair play to Unibot, they actually did give the person back their ETH amount at the point of the hacks. They were better off for doing so. Other people have received more tokens back than they actually initially had. So again, a few things that they can get a bit of a pat on the back here for. And they state within this, their main goal was to actually just set things right by the community. So this is obviously very important. They have realized that the community is everything they have. If the community lose faith in you, they're off to the next one. There's plenty of different bots out there that everyone could be using. So hopefully this will be onwards and upwards for Unibot. Price, however, still tanking. Now, what I did notice across the board here was a lot of the meme coins were down quite bad today. Joe was down like 50% from the highs. People were obviously getting their tokens back and choosing to sell. Imagine, put yourself in their shoes. Maybe you're overexposed in meme coins. You think they've been rugged from you. You do then get them back from Unibot. You probably just auto convert that back to ETH and stick that back in a ledger and count your lucky stars. So I think that is what has happened generally across the board with some big numbers down here. You can see Bitcoin here, Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10 Inu down 16-17% on the day. And what else we're seeing across the board here is that the cost of Gwei is going up. So more expensive to interact on ETH. The single digit days seemingly are behind us now. The average transaction cost today somewhere around 26 Gwei. Highs were put in at around 102. So we can cue the ultrasound money memes yet again. And if this does continue with the heating up of on-chain and with the markets more broadly, this will bring some more back to Ethereum and its narrative. As you've probably seen over the last like 2 days, there's been a lot of grave dancing on ETH. And people saying ETH BTC is going to hell in a handbasket. All your favorite memes, etc. being directed hatefully towards the ETH maxis. So this potentially would be a good trading opportunity to flip bias more bullish on ETH and ETH-based altcoins. Maybe the LSD narrative starts to pick up here. Libra, being a bit of a market leader, has ticked up nicely, up 18% today. It was 75 cents just like 3-4 days ago. You can see a few of these like Pendle also ticking up over the last week. So maybe this will be what catches a bid if we have a bit of an ETH-based renaissance here. That's just something I'm keeping in mind and looking at some of the LSD providers across the board. Marinade Finance from Sol has been absolutely ripping. So I'm personally thinking more along the lines of the LST providers that have the kind of multi-chain approach and let you do LSTs for ETH, for Sol, for Atom, etc. Now we're going to finish things off with DMT, SANKO Dream Machine. This was previously called a shitcoin when I covered this originally. This, I do feel, is going to be one of those coins that does catch major bid here and will do very well in this market cycle because they are developing loads and loads of stuff. And to be honest with you, most of the world is pretty crazy right now. And so to have this kind of live streaming platform within DMT here on the SANKO TV, as they're calling it, I think this thing could go crazy. You've probably seen the TikTok videos of people saying, thank you for the glizzy, all of that good shit, while they have it here on SANKO TV. Now, yesterday, we had this lovely lady here. I won't scroll down any further. Not safe for work, fellas, but she was the first girl, or e-girl as she states, streaming on SANKO TV. You can see down here recent streams. She is down here as well. She's earned herself 0.12 of an ETH over the last day. Yes, boobs were shown, and what happened to the price of SANKO Dream Machine's DMT as a result? Of course, it is up 60% in the most crypto of reactions to anything. Girl shows boobs on the new streaming site, and it goes up only. We also had Andy Melanakis actually doing a video on there as well, so he was live streaming, which is pretty damn incredible. And this is also being endorsed. Official spaces from Arbitrum DAO with SANKO Game Corp. So pretty epic stuff, and I think this leads me to believe the trajectory of DMT will continue to be bullish. In crypto, we just simply have to along the craziness, and this is in abundance here with DMT. So that is all for today's roundup. I'll leave it there for you. Do make sure you follow the channel here on Twitter if you're watching on Twitter. Subscribe if you're new here on YouTube. Comment me down below. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
I said the bulls is back.
Yo, where the boom is at?
I don't know.
Better lose their hats, cause the news is that the mad bulls are back, and all the bear fools better hope their tools are wrapped. L1, L2, both golden. Yo, no layers, only L's I'm holding. Making origami, all the paper hands folding. Sold him, oh no, so low, so long. Cause the bulls is back like it's 96, and like a mid-range jump, I ain't trying to miss this. And green candles on my Christmas wish list. A lot of them up quick, then we sit to witness the pump like Reebok. Shout to Dennis, catching rebounds, we found love for winners. No dip, we ripping like Rodman Pippen. Lil Bub and 88 and 8 song we hitting. Yeah, we long and sitting, pretty as can be. Paper hands, old soul, man, as for me, that's blasphemy, a catastrophe. I accumulator made it back massively. We stack sats in fat bags like massive backpacks. Relaxing, that's that, it has to be. A couple racks, flip that, in fact, smashing, grab, attack, hurt the bulls, he's back. As for me, I never left.
We up and I'm feeling like a new me. Stacking new sets, some new E.